A great question. When should you start custom packaging for your Shopify store? This is more so built around branding, which is something you do once you have already identified your winning product. There's some amount of cash flow coming in and you want to focus on things long term. Keep in mind, certain components of branding will cost you money out of pocket, and there are things that you can't directly track an ROI for. So things like really working hard on social media content, just to have like a very full page and post consistently, or sending value to your email list without pitching them anything, just to build that relationship and get a high open rate. Things like custom packaging. It doesn't necessarily lead to something that you can say, hey, this $30 spent brought back $150. Look at that ROI. It's not your Facebook ads. It's not your Google ads, right? It's not like that. So this is where we got to discuss two things. How? Well, first of all, when, and then how. So how and when are those two most important things when it comes to custom packaging. I'm going to address this very simply, okay? When? You have to have a winning product, right? Because you're going to be buying packaging for that product, that size. If you're selling shoes, it's a shoe box. You can't really use it for too much else. If it's a t-shirt, it's a slip packaging. That's cheaper. That's easier to make. So different things. Now, that's kind of the when. You want to have consistent cash flow. You want to use the profits that the business has already generated, in my opinion, to pay for that. Keep in mind, pretty much, I've never seen someone who doesn't do this. Every single manufacturer and or supplier that I've ever worked with requires an order minimum. The lowest I've ever seen is 200 units of custom packaging. This will most likely, you can speak to your supplier or manufacturer about this, it will depend. And if you, by the way, don't have a relationship with supplier or manufacturer, we're going to talk about that in a moment. But you have to figure out what their number is. Sometimes it's 500. Sometimes if you have a really big package, it can be 50. It can be, if you're selling refrigerators, it can be a lot less because it costs more per unit. So it really just depends, because keep in mind, it still has to be worth it for them. Now, if you're using a third-party fulfillment center or 3PL, well, you can pretty much do whatever you want because they're just on your dime. You're paying them per order. So you can send them packaging because you're already sending them basic packaging anyways. So you can just send them the custom package, but whoever's actually manufacturing that will probably have a minimum to make it worth their time. So usually it's 500. Again, depends on the size of the package for kind of your basic slip package, 200 to 500. Nothing too crazy. You'll probably be paying anywhere from like 20 cents to 50 cents. Again, depending on the quantity, the intenseness of the graphics. Is it a thick package for something, like a book that has to be a little bit protected, or is it a t-shirt, something super thin? It just depends on that. So have a conversation, but that's when. Already have a winning product, consistent cash flow, it's something you want to do long term, and now you're trying to build the brand. Now, how? First thing, I'm no website developer, design expert, guru on editing stuff online. Like, that's not me. I can't do like graphic design on Photoshop. I just don't. So I would much rather pay someone $200, $100, even $50, depending on what you're trying to do, to outline a custom packaging. So first things first, you have the conversation with your supplier manufacturer. They're going to send you the sizing for your package. Then you can have a designer work off of that. So first thing I look for in a designer, you can hire them off any freelance site. If you want to get an actual employee or contractor type thing, you go to an actual hiring website, something like Indeed.com. I've hired multiple people off there. The in-house bookkeeper I've been using for almost 2 years now. She's been amazing. She's at the times been full-time, been part-time, just found her straight off of Indeed.com. She's been a W-2 employee for a long time. So you can use these different resources. It's not hard to find a graphic designer. From there, you're going to want to build multiple different variations. You're going to want to go back and forth, or have the designer go back and forth with your supplier, manufacturer, whoever you're speaking with here. Now, on to the point of, if you don't have a personal relationship, if you're fulfilling your orders off AliExpress, you can't brand something, and you should not be wanting to do something long term with AliExpress. The reason for that, there's no personal connection, there's no real relationship there, there's nobody you can directly talk to. So if you're having that problem, it's probably time to switch and look elsewhere. Keep in mind, this is going to give you another benefit in 99% of the situations. It's probably going to result in faster shipping. It might result in your cost going up. If you're not ordering inventory yet, you're still drop shipping. Your cost might go up, so factor that. And now your cost for custom packaging is going to go up, but you might have much faster shipping. So if you really wanted to add a paid shipping option on your store, that might help offset some of that cost. Just an idea. But having custom packaging, in my opinion, helps with a few different things. If you do your custom packaging correctly, it's something we talk about inside of our programs. You can check those out linked below. They're a couple $100 off for you guys. But custom packaging is usually going to result in people tagging your social media. So when you're going to brand a store, I never step like 1 foot in the water to test how warm it is. You have to go all in. Because with custom packaging, my goal at least is what I do inside of my main brand and my companies. What we do When I say we, I mean our entire team. We focus on custom packaging. Sure, that's the easy part, but keeping up with the social media. Because if you have a social media presence, you can pay to get some press releases and then pay to get verified on Instagram if you want. You can, constantly have followers and likes and do giveaways and all this stuff. You build the social media. Now your social media is tagged on the custom packaging. Someone wants to tag you on their story when they get your product. So now you're building social proof, showing with indisputable proof that people are buying it, people are enjoying it. So you have to be on top of your social media, meaning you have to pretty quickly see that they tagged you. You repost it on your story, like saying, "Oh, we appreciate you." Like you do things like that. So you're building this whole network, and you're able to reach so many people because Carol in Kansas, who ordered your thing, she might only have 120 followers, but those 120 followers are like personal friends of hers, not random followers. So 119 of them are going to see her post, and now they've seen your stuff, half probably clicked, a few might go by. So it's not one of those things where you can directly track the metric, but it's super, super valuable from a customer experience perspective to have custom packaging. It's something I've slowly started doing earlier and earlier on any new things, and it's something we recommend for clients inside of our agency as well, who are still just doing standardized drop shipping. A lot of them end up not having a personal supplier. They have no connection at all. So we hook them up with a supplier first, just do standard drop shipping, get the ball rolling, the cash flow there, then working on custom packaging. And then the steps after that would potentially include ordering inventory if it makes sense. Not every product's going to make sense. Not every supplier does it make sense to order inventory, depending on the pricing. So it's just some things to keep in mind. Custom packaging is great. There's just no direct ROI. It's something that's really not that costly though. You'll never really notice it out of your margin. If you do, then there's a problem. So I hope that answers the question. If you want obviously all your questions answered in depth with live examples, seeing everything in front of you, you can check out our 2 different e-commerce programs linked below. We have a Facebook ad one and an entire e-commerce program that shows you the whole business model, talking about payment processing and ad account security, suppliers. We give you our connections for that. Everything is found inside of there. And then we have our advertising agency as well, where we can completely automate your marketing and potentially the entire e-commerce store through our full management service. You can book a call for that down below. Again, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments section. Make sure to drop a like, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace.